Alright boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going over what you should buy and what you should avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, and boy oh boy, we have quite a bit to go over this week. So as you guys can see, the most important thing of the entire week probably is of course the car standing behind me. This is of course the Obey 10F, which has just been released into Grand Theft Auto Online with this update week. The car seems pretty good, all things considered so far. Now, I haven't actually done my review and customization of it. Obviously, this car is uncustomized, so we're going to be doing that as soon as I'm done this video. You guys will see this video, and then the customization should come out. So, the Obey 10F, obviously released this week. It goes for about $1.7 million, which is a pretty fair price, I think, all things considered. It has an active rear spoiler, that's something that I noticed, so it's a pretty cool car so far. Anyways, beyond that, we have a lot to go over this week. And of course, we're going to start off with how to make some money in Grand Theft Auto Online this week, because I feel like it's the most important thing of any week. So let's go ahead and get started with this. To start off, of course, we have some bonus money on an adversary mode this week. Most weeks we do get a bonus money opportunity on adversary modes, and this week it's double money and double RP on Judgment Day. Judgment Day is a pretty cool adversary mode. I haven't played it all that much. As you guys can see, it doesn't say I've played these ones at all. I have played it before on my old character before I got banned a long time ago. It's pretty fun. It's not the end of the world, and for double money and double RP, it's probably not the best, but it is of course a way to make money this week. Now, if you're not really into Judgment Day and you don't really like adversary modes, we do have some missions that are bonus money and bonus RP this week. Of course, these missions are the short trips that were added with the contract DLC. Now, honestly, I have not even played these. I can't say if they're fun or not, but if you guys have never played them, now is a good time to, because they're double money and double RP. I might even give these a shot this week. However, there is one more double money and double RP opportunity this week that's just a little bit better than these. Of course, what I'm talking about is double money and double RP on security contracts. Thank God, finally we got a really good way to make money in a week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Security contracts are double money and double RP this week. These are insanely good. Obviously, the more you complete, the more your agency safe is going to pay you. And of course, on double money, these things pay a pretty huge amount of money. Most security contracts at the least will pay around $30,000, so double it, they're paying 60 grand for the cheaper ones, and some of the more expensive security contracts will pay like $65,000. So if you double that, that's $130,000 for completing a little, maybe 5, maybe 10-minute mission. So security contracts are double money and double RP this week. The best ones to run are gang termination, I find. Those are super easy. Gang termination is really good. The next best is probably asset recovery. So you just go to one of two locations, either Tequila La or the Vanilla Unicorn, and you just get something back for a client. And then the third best is probably the rescue mission. You go to a location and secure a VIP and bring them back to the safe house. Those are the three best ones to run. Those are the only ones I run. They're really good, and I definitely recommend just using that strategy. Only do those ones. They're the only ones really worth doing. Of course, for completing these, you're going to get your passive income up in your safe, up to $20,000 for completing 201 contracts. So I would try to get a good amount of contracts done this week and make yourself some money with that. And of course, you're going to be making money from that for the foreseeable future as long as you keep playing GTA. Money is going to keep coming into your safe in the agency faster and faster. So that's my little security contracts rant. We also have double money and double RP on stashes that you can find with the metal detector, buried stashes. So that's a good way to make some money, I guess. They don't pay that much, so it's not the end of the world. You're not going to light the world on fire with that. So there you go. Of course, we got to go over the discounts as well this week. So to start off, we're going to go on the Dynasty Executive website, and you guessed it, agencies are 40% off this week. Now, all of the renovations within the agency are also 40% off. So if you want an agency, if you haven't had one before, definitely buy one. I would avoid getting all the wallpapers and the art and highlights and stuff like that. It really doesn't matter, but I would get the agency, and then I would just start doing these security contracts as soon as you possibly can. These things are insanely good. So you can probably make the money that you spend on the agency back during this week just by doing security contracts. So definitely give them a shot. You will not regret it. So there you go, boys. That's pretty much it for the agency discount. Now it's time to talk about some vehicle discounts this week. There are quite a few of them. But before we get into that, we got to go onto Southern San Andreas Super Autos here and go into the two-door category. And as we scroll down here, the Halloween vehicles are available in Grand Theft Auto Online again. So the Lurcher is available to buy, $650,000, and in the 4-door section as well, we of course have the Frankenstein. Now this is one of the best sounding cars in the entire game. Really cool Halloween vehicle. Doesn't perform that well, but it's pretty cool. And on top of that, we're going to go ahead and start off on Southern San Andreas for our discounts. We have the Rune Shabarak on sale this week. Not the greatest car ever, I won't lie, but it's kind of cool. We have the Benefactor Streiter on sale this week as well, for 350 grand. This is 30% off. Not the greatest car ever again, but it is kind of unique. It's, you know, a pretty lifted benefactor, or a Mercedes in GTA, which is kind of a unique look, I guess. So it's not the worst car ever. I actually like this thing a lot, but for the price, not exactly the greatest. Of course, under the 2-door section, we have the Karen Calico GTF on sale this week as well. This is a pretty fantastic car. You can win some of those tuners DLC races using the Calico GTF. It's one of my preferred cars actually nowadays. I used to kind of hate on this thing, but it's honestly pretty good now. That's pretty much it for Southern San Andreas. We got to go over to Legendary Motorsport now. And of course, you guys can see the Obey 10F is available right here on Legendary. And if we go into the 2-door section, we have the Pfister Growler discounted this week for 40% off, which is a pretty good discount. This thing is it's a really good car. It's got lots of customization. It's one of the better tuner DLC vehicles. And of course, on top of this, we also have the Emperor Vector. Now, this is actually my favorite tuners DLC vehicle to race with, so I would definitely say that I recommend picking this thing up if you guys are interested. It's really good for racing. It's a really good free mode car as well. So is the Pfister Growler. But the Emperor Vector is definitely my preferred car from the tuners DLC for racing in the tuners races, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And if we scroll way down on Legendary Motorsport, or if we sort by price, of course we can find the Pegassi Infernus is discounted for 50% off this week. Now that's a pretty huge discount. The Infernus is an OG car. It's pretty good, doesn't have much customization, won't win you any races, but it is a really cool car to have for free mode. So there you have it, that's it for the Infernus. Heading over to the Benny's website, I mean, you could stay on Legendary Motorsport for this as well, but we're gonna head to Benny's because it kind of makes sense. The Banshee 900R upgrade in Benny's is discounted this week for 50% off. So you can upgrade this thing into the Banshee 900R for half the money. So if you guys are interested in getting a 900R, now is a really good week to actually get that. So give it a shot if you guys are interested. And last but not least, we're heading over to Warstock because we do have one discount, and that is of course on the Stromberg. Now, the Stromberg is not the greatest car anymore. It's been overshadowed by the Toreador quite heavily, but the Stromberg is still pretty cool. It is submersible, it does have missiles. It is unfortunately limited to only 30 missiles that it can carry on it. It does have a bit of armor. It's kind of good at killing Mark IIs, but the Toreador is kind of better in every single way. So if you already have a Toreador, I would say probably avoid the Stromberg. Honestly, you really don't need to pick it up. If you guys are interested in it though, anyways, besides that, the Stromberg, you know, it's not a bad car. You could pick it up and you'd probably like it. So, you know, that's really all I'll say about the Stromberg. It's completely up to you guys. It's a good vehicle, but it's not the best either. So that's pretty much it for the discounts this week, guys. Now we got to talk about the prize ride and the podium vehicle. Of course, the podium vehicle within the casino is the Caracara 6x6. Now, yes, it is in the floor. There's no doubt about that. And it barely fits on the podium, which is pretty nuts. Now, the Caracara 6x6 is actually one of the best off-roading vehicles in the entire game. I have to say, this is insanely good off-road. Of course, you can also seat 4 players inside of it and 1 player on the gun on the back. Gun on the back deals out some pretty heavy damage. Unfortunately, the vehicle has pretty much no armor, so that kind of sucks. But it is still a really cool vehicle. I actually wish that you could get this thing just without the gun in the back, but unfortunately I'm pretty sure the gun has to stay. However, I do think it is upgradable to a minigun if you guys want to change the look of it, but unfortunately the gun stays no matter what. This is definitely a vehicle I'd recommend trying to win on the podium. If you have to do some sort of glitch to get it, I'd say go for it. But of course, this is not me condoning glitching. I don't condone that. Rockstar, if you're listening, I did not just say that. That's pretty much it for the podium vehicle. Let's go to the prize ride. And the prize ride this week is of course the Lampadaddy Casco. Now the Casco, absolutely fantastic car. In order to win this thing this week, you're gonna have to place top 4 for 4 days in a row in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now this is not a very hard challenge. You just have to play for 4 days in a row, which is probably the hardest challenge of all of them. But placing top 4 is not necessarily too hard. The Casco sounds fantastic. Unfortunately, doesn't have much customization at all, but it is still a really cool car. So definitely go ahead and check this thing out. and see if it's worth it to try to win it for you guys. Now, I was considering going to the dealerships, but honestly, I think that I'm going to remove those from my weekly updates because I don't really think anybody finds them all that helpful. If there is a car that's really crazy in one of them that you cannot typically get, I will of course still cover it, but I figure honestly they're just cars that are on sale during that week and some other weird cars that don't really matter that much. However, like I said, if there are ever any cars within the dealerships that are worth covering, I will go ahead and cover them. This week I can tell you it's the Stromberg, the 10F in the luxury showcase, and in Simeon's it's the Chevrolet, the Streiter, the Calico GTF, the Banshee, and the Glendale. So that's what I'll tell you guys. That's pretty much it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. I have a customization dropping on the 10F really soon, so go ahead and check that out when you see it. And until then, take care. Peace.